As investors, we often tend to focus just on equities and neglect the other asset classes that play a very important role in diversifying our portfolio. Today, we'll be talking about a fund that does the job for us, the Kotak Multi Asset Allocation Fund. For that, I have with me Devender Singhal, the Executive Vice President with Kotak Mutual Fund. Devender, hi, and thank you so much for joining. Let's start off first by talking about this category. Where does it invest?
Multi-asset allocation as a category has to have a minimum of 3 asset classes. It could be a combination of something like an equity, debt, commodities, international equities, or likewise. But by definition, you need to have a minimum of 3 asset classes with a minimum weight of 10% in each of these asset classes.
Let's talk about specifically Kotak Multi Asset Allocation Fund. Give our viewers a brief peek into this fund.
So at Kotak, the multi-asset allocation strategy which we have invest a minimum of 65% in equity, a minimum of 10% in debt, and a minimum of 10% in commodities, which is precious commodities as we speak. Now, the way we manage it is that the equity allocation is the primary driver so as to generate long-term wealth. Debt adds to the income generation capacity, and commodities also gives you a hedge towards the volatility in the overall market direction when neither of the debt or equity is doing good. So you have a fund which can invest across market caps, across asset classes, and across market caps within the equity also. So anybody who is looking at one-stop solution to the long-term wealth generation, multi-asset category, and especially Kotak Multi-Asset Allocation Fund is a good window to do that.
All right. So finally, to wrap up our conversation, tell our viewers who should be investing in the Kotak Multi-Asset Allocation Fund.
Umina, as a normal investor, we are always looking at diversifying our portfolio into various assets. So we may look at fixed income, we may look at equity. Most of the Indian households also have exposure to gold by either physical gold or by RBI bonds or mutual funds therein. This is one solution whereby it can juggle across these categories or these asset classes and give you a tax-efficient way to hold these asset classes for longer term. So anybody who is looking at participating in all these markets or all these asset classes and looking at a tax-efficient way for long-term capital appreciation, this is a very apt fund to be in.
Thank you, Devender, for that. Well, don't worry about having to manage different asset classes because the Kotak Multi-Asset Allocation Fund does the job for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.